Alright, is everyone ready for class to begin? Okay. Have all of you finished your homework? Does anybody have any questions or anything they want to share from yesterday? Okay, so then moving on to our lesson for the day, we are going to discuss formulas of geometry. There are three different kinds of formulas. The first one is parameter, the second one is area, and the third one is volume. The first one, parameter. What do we use this for? Does anybody know? Student is answering the question and teacher is listening to students answer. Good. So parameter basically means the same when you're adding together. If you have a big square, one side is 5 feet, the other side is 10 feet, another side is 5 feet, and the last side is 10 feet. All these sides combined together, adding them up, is equal to parameter. Well, so what would we use this in life for? Okay, so for farming we would use this, right? We'd use the parameter in farming, but how in farming would we use that? Right, we could use parameter to find how much we need to get for a fence. So if they measure a piece of land and need 1,000 feet of fence, you would go and buy the fence and bring that back. And you would set it up. Now, could you use area also to find out how much fence you would need? No. You would need to use parameter for that. Okay, moving on to the next one then, let's talk about area. So what would we use area for? Student is answering a question. Right, you could use area for carpet. How much carpet you would need. Basically all together around finding the area inside. Okay, so what other things besides carpet would you find an area for? Student answers question. Perfect. How many seeds that you would need to cover the land? What other things would you use it for? Yes, you'd also use the area to find how much square footage that you would need to put down for flooring in a room. You guys are very knowledgeable students. Yes, you also would use an area for the house and use multiplication to find an area of the house too. For the third formula of geometry, volume, what would you use that for? Student is answering the question. Yes, so if you have a box, this is finding the volume of the length, width, and height. This is all multiplication of it. Okay, great. Okay, so back to parameter. There are two different ways that you are going to find this using. You've got the length and the width in the parameter. Okay, so again, there's two sides of the square that are the same. There are two sides of length and two sides of width. Now you do see that there are corners of the square too. How is that calculated on what's needed there? When all lengths and widths of the sides are added together. So there's a formula in here that you can use to figure out what the parameter is. So this is 2 lengths plus the 2 widths. Are there any other formulas that you can use to find the parameter? Yes, no, does anybody know? There definitely are other possibilities that you can find the parameter. A second way is length plus width plus width. Both will end up giving you the same answer. Student is answering the question for another formula. So a third way is 2 times length times width. Anything else for parameter? Okay, again, parameter is all sides added together. For area, what you do to find the area is you multiply. So this is width times length. Is there any other way to find the area? No, it's just one for this one. Just multiplication, that's it. So for example, suppose that the length is 5 feet and the width here is 3 feet. When you multiply these two across, how many do you get? 15. So you have a total of 15 feet. Is that it? Or are we forgetting something? We do have to make this squared. This is 15 feet squared. Do you know why? Because this is length and width times the width. The two sides have to be equal. Moving on to volume. So this is the length, width, and height multiplied together. Is there any other way to do this? No. You're going to multiply all three across. So area you multiply, perimeter you're going to add all together. There's just different things that you may like, that you prefer, depending on your comfortability with that.